may never have in fact existed, and were created elements of a much older, mystical language of enlightenment. Therefore, both existing theories on the Holy Grail would fall. There can be no chalice used by Christ at the Last Supper, or a vessel which caught his blood. There can also be no children of Christ spawning the Merovingian lineage. There is in fact no bloodline at all, and Christ is in reality an ancient serpent-worshipping archetypal deity, as too are St. John, Horus, Aesculapius, and thousands of others. All shall soon become clear. In order to disprove the bloodline theory, we also have to look at the infamous Priory of Sion nonsense, or the group which supposedly kept the secret of the Holy Grail. For those who know nothing of this priory, it is simply a recreation of a supposed secret organisation said to protect the bloodline of Christ by the fraudster Pierre Plantard. Indeed, his early newsletters were nothing more than a kind of neighbourhood watch. It was the book The Holy Blood and the Holy Grail which started all of this Priory of Sion misdirection, and nothing more. So, with all this in mind, we need to completely reappraise the whole mythos of the Grail, and what we will find is startling. There is the obvious tradition that the Grail is a journey, a method of self-improvement, and all the texts with this Gnostic viewpoint in mind, we find that this was completely correct, and that Grail literature was in reality hiding the Gnostic traditions of the mixing of the opposites, the balance of the positive and negative. This is, in essence, where the split personalities of the mind are rejoined repetitively in order to make the perfect man, symbolised by alchemists as the androgyne or hermaphrodite, or that is, Hermes and Aphrodite, man and woman united within us. The process is of course much deeper than this, and would take too long to explain in full. Suffice it to say that this mixing procedure occurred in the brain, and therefore the skull, and was envisaged in colours symbolically as red and white. These two colours shall become very important. This brain or skull location became apparent in other cultures from where the European Gnostic ideas had also arisen. One of these being the tantric skull cups of India, and even in the story of Christ as he spills his sacrificial blood at Golgotha, the place of the skull. In essence, the whole mystical process was virtually the same the world over. It is the method of raising up twin serpents through a specific psychological process until one is completely illuminated, or having obtained the Grail. In each case, from around the world, this process related to the serpent or snake or dragon, each one being for this mystical purpose the same thing. It can be seen clearly today in the infamous image of the caduceus upon medical insignia, ambulances, hospitals and elsewhere. It can also be seen in the powerful representation of the Uraeus serpent which emerges from the foreheads of the Egyptian pharaohs. Now, the amazing occurrence of this serpent in myth, folklore and religion across the entire world and in every period is in fact startling. We can see its origins even as far back as ancient Africa, where even today the serpent is pinned to a tree or cross as a sacrifice for the community. This is a continuance of a system which stretches back in time for thousands of years. It is a symbolic element, but it is also a practical level, as we shall see. Even as late as the 16th century, there were German coins called thalers, with Christ on the cross on one side and a snake on the cross on the reverse. The image was said to depict the all-healer. We can also see the serpent influences in the Bible as early as Adam and Eve. Believe it or not, Eve actually means